like everybody's like, they see my Mexi roll, they get fooled, and they're like, hey, you should drop down to the 125 division. I've had that question a million times, but my body's dense. Like I actually cannot make 125. It did not matter how much I like would diet for years on end. It's just not meant for me. I've had DEXA scans. Like there was one point in my life, in my career fighting, that I tried 125 and I felt like I was going to die. It was terrible. So, anyways, now like I made a lifestyle change. Just paying attention to what really goes into my body. Of course, like, they're doing so much stuff to our food these days that
Yeah.
things are a little scary. So I've turned into, I was already a little health freak. Now it's on a different level. And then having a baby, just kind of building good habits for her. Cause living with Tisha, I mean, you see that girl and she's rock solid. People have accused her of being on steroids and all this crazy stuff. Her genetics are one of a kind. But honestly, she's so annoying to live with because she can eat whatever she wants. And people are like, oh, you must diet really hard. Tisha does not diet. She does not diet for 1 second throughout any fight camp. After having a baby, she did not diet at all. Like, she lives off of sugar. I always tell her, I'm like, it's going to catch up to you. We've had to switch places in bed because from where our TV's mounted, I would sit there, and she has a habit of like snacking at nighttime. So she would sit there and have like a bowl of Oreos sitting on her chest and just eating them. And instead of watching the TV, I'm watching her eat cookies. And it's like, I feel like I'm just gaining weight watching her eat cookies. Like, it's terrible. So, for me, I made a lifestyle change now, and it makes it a lot easier when I go into camp. I feel completely different in general. And I get blood work done every 6 months to make sure my thyroid is staying under control, because I would definitely prefer not to take medication and stuff. And so that's what I do.
That's good. Yeah, I've heard the thyroid situation can be very annoying, and so I mean, congratulations to you for still fighting that struggle and finding ways to work around it. And I also understand your struggle of being around people that are just petite and they can just kind of eat whatever they want, and it is very annoying for us thick people that have to work a little harder than other people.
Correct.
Yeah, show some love to us thick people. Geez.
Absolutely.
Now, I have a segment on the show. I call it the 5 count. It's just 5 random questions. Just answer as quick as possible.
Okay.
What are 3 things people would not expect about you?
What are 3 things people would not what
Expect about you.
expect about me? Um, I think anybody who follows me kind of knows a little bit of my backstory and growing up, but a lot of people tend to get really shocked when they find out that like I grew up being a hunter. I'm like an avid angler. I love fishing. And mm, they see me as this giant tomboy, but I'm actually like way more girly than people expect.
So your TikTok is full of the makeup tutorials.
Oh yeah. Yep.
If you owned a liquor company, brewery, winery, or coffee shop, which one would it be, and what would the name be?
Oh, too easy. So myself and my wrestling coach, it would be a coffee shop, because legit in between wrestling, it's probably why half of the time we get dehydrated. But I would call it grounds between rounds, because
Hey,
because we sit there and we're legit drinking coffee in between our rounds. It's so bad. I'm so dehydrated after wrestling, but we just have an addiction to coffee for some reason during that session.
I mean, I feel like that's a YouTube show right there, just grounds between rounds.
Right? I should do something like that. Like, I don't know. We've made all these jokes and everything, but I'm like, shit, I should just really make it happen.
I mean, with content the way it is, I think that'd be a great idea.
There we go.
Crunchy or creamy peanut butter?
Creamy.
Oh, okay. Who or what inspires you?
Um, I would say my mom inspires me the most. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who have done amazing things in life, as far as athletes and stuff like that. But, I give credit where credit's due. I've never been a huge person that's like, I ride a bandwagon of another athlete. But with my mom, she's just I don't know. I graduated from high school, and when I walked across the stage, I pulled out this huge poster that I made, and it just said, "Mom, you're my hero." Because, my parents got divorced when I was 13 years old, and somehow she managed to raise my brother and I. She she struggled. She worked 3 jobs, and working 3 jobs, but yet my brother and I, like, somehow had everything our little hearts desired. Even if we didn't want it, my mom was trying to make it happen. She would sit there and, to get us new freaking shoes or something, she's walking around with holes in her socks, and then, um, she just she never missed a basketball game, a volleyball game, a football game, a baseball game. She never missed a game of any sport that my brother and I were in. And she's been to every single one of my fights except during COVID. For the first time ever, she missed a game. I was a brat as a teenager. And there was one time I was fighting with her, and I was like, "You're not going to my game," and just being ornery. I played the absolute worst basketball game of my entire life because I
Oh,
kept looking in the stands. My mom wasn't there, but in reality, my mom was there. She put a beanie on and like just kind of disguised herself, and she went on sat on the other team's bleachers. So she's still seen my game. And for me, like it just kind of ruined my day, and I learned my lesson really fast. But like she's just always been my hero. She's a true grinder of everything, and somehow, she's super loving and nurturing. It didn't matter what uh crazy dreams my brother and I have had, whether we were going to fall on our face or we were going to truly excel in life. She has always been there to support us, and then if we fell, she's been there to pick us up. And just, man, like, I am so thankful for that woman.
that's amazing. And now you get to do the same for your daughter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what would you tell your 17-year-old self?
My 17-year-old self. um I feel like at 17, I had to grow up pretty quick, just with the fact of my parents getting divorced, and obviously I was helping my mom raise my little brother too. But can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I think you muted yourself for a second.
I have no idea. It just beeped in my, and then it said everything's muted. But I I don't know. I think the biggest thing is, to always reach for the stars.
Mm.
Like I've always kind of done. But then it was too, I had a habit of pushing through things. Just kind of being, I was like, "Oh, I'm super tough. I could do anything, whatever." And I wish I would have slowed down, actually focused a lot more on some recovery and stuff and things that I was going through, because I feel like my body would be in a completely different place now as an adult.
I mean, you have to go through the adversities that you do to get to where you are. And obviously, hindsight is always 2020. And looking back, you'd be like, if I did recover a little bit longer on that one, I think I'd be in a better place. But who knows where you would have ended up when it came to, where you are now. And right now, you are the Bantamweight champion. So not a bad place to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, if people want to find out more about you, follow you online, give a shout out to that Wolf Dog Rescue place, all the things.
Um, yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Raquel underscore Pennington. I have the threads or treads, whatever it's called. Um,
Do people call it treads? I've only heard threads.
I have no idea what the heck it's called.
I'm
I
not
just
sure
know
that many
that,
people use it really is I think what the real problem
I
is.
don't know. I know UFC was like, "Hey, here's a new platform. You guys needed to get it." So here we are. I don't even
Okay.
know the name of it, but I do like actively post on there.
There you
It's connected to my Instagram. Don't know. So I'm pretty sure it's Raquel underscore Pennington as well.
go. Mhm.
Uh, I am on Twitter, or also known as X now, Rocky P MMA. Um, Other than that, I mean, I do have a TikTok, but I'm not active on there. I browse more than anything if I'm going to be on there. So yeah, you can find me on there. I usually try to go like live at least once a month to interact with fans. I absolutely love my true fans out there. Yeah,
There we go. Well, Raquel, thank you so much for your time. I've every interview I've heard from you, you have nothing but motivational and positive things to say. Obviously, like you said, some of the fans can be very negative, but that's every sport and every TV show or movie out there. It's bonkers. But you are putting the positivity out there. Obviously, it's come back to you tenfold. You know, not only being a champion, but mom and a wonderful marriage is what you're in right now. So thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you as champion, and just keep being you and keep putting good vibes out there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was really good talking with you. I truly enjoyed this interview.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Raquel Pennington for being on the show. First UFC champion, current champion on the show. Huge deal. So thank you again to UFC Bantamweight champion Raquel Pennington. And don't forget, UFC 300 is this Saturday. All of these fights are absolutely amazing. And almost every fight, I think, has a former or current champion. So I look forward to it so much. If you want to find out while I'm live tweeting it, go on over to our social media. It is going to be Brewsers Pod, that is BREWSCRSPOD, on the Instagram, the Threads, and the Twitter. If you want to send us an email, it is brewserspod@gmail.com. If you want to follow me directly, it is RodieJohn, that is RODIEJON. RodieJohn is the name on the Twitter and on Untappd. In case you want to find out what I'm drinking, maybe we can have beer together. Definitely check me out what I'm drinking this Saturday while watching UFC 300. If you want to follow me on the Instagram or the Threads, it is official RodieJohn, and send me an email if you would like at rodiejohn@gmail.com. And until next time, make sure to enjoy life, drink local, and cheers.